Welcome back to The Vocalist. Today we are listening to Pearl Jam. I honestly cannot say whether or not this is a first time listen. I've heard the name Pearl Jam, I've heard of Eddie Vedder, but when I was going through their song catalog, I didn't recognize any of the titles. So I don't know if I've heard their music, maybe on the radio, and I just didn't know who I was listening to. But either way, I will know after today. There will be no question. So we are listening or watching their MTV Unplugged performance of the song Black. Here we go.
Unturned sheets of gray lay spread out before me as her body was still. Oh, five horizons revolved around the sun. As the earth to the sun, yeah, now the air I tasted and breathed is taking a turn. And all I thought her was everything. That's all. How quick the sun can drop away. Now my bitter hand, great old broken glass of what was everything. Oh, the picture.
Okay, we're going back. I have definitely not heard this group before. Okay. I'm racking my brain right now because he has such a unique tone, which is another reason why I'm like, nope, I've not heard him sing before. Okay, let me go back. We're gonna break it down a little bit because there's just so many interesting things that are happening. Interesting textures that I don't think I don't know if I'm gonna be able to put a pedagogical like definition to. Here we go. Just that sound he made at the beginning was instantly captivating because it's such a unique tone. It felt it does feel very full. He's got a beautiful present sound. But you can also hear just a little bit of vibrato creeping through. You can hear toward the end of that, I'm going to call it, a run for lack of a better word. We heard more air come through his chords. So he's already playing with air pressure and muscle tension. And then it's got just this beautiful, soulful color at the bottom. So I'll play it again and then we'll keep going. I might have to play this a million times over. When he says she, he's using like this gorgeous nasal resonance. There's this brightness and this forward placement that I'm hearing, but it is so full. It's not thin. It's One more time.
She's so will be canvas, untouched sheets of clear.
I loved that line as well. Not only did we get the head voice, the falsetto, but there was a quality in his voice that made it almost feel unstable, but in a good way. Like, let me play it one more time. That it's almost like a mix because he's incorporating more head voice. One more time.
Lay spread out before me as her body was still. Oh, five horizons revolved around the sun.
That was such a cool sound as well. I think what I'm liking about his tone is that grit, maybe even a growl in some moments. So we're getting so much texture, but then just here, you could hear how he released a lot of the pressure off of his chords and allowed more air to come through. So that note sounded very almost hollow.
As the earth to the sun, yeah, now the air I tasted and breathed is taking a turn.
And there, I don't know what my face is doing right now, because as I'm hearing the initial part of that line, that phrase, it was so full and so just so resonant. Like, I felt like we were getting full adduction, and then he switched it up on us instantly.
Now the air I tasted and breathed is taking a turn.
Right there, he switched completely. It almost, I mean, I'm getting that open pharyngeal sound. It kind of sounds like he's intentionally depressing his larynx a little bit, and then he released it. He allowed a little bit more movement in the larynx at the second part of that phrase.
And all I thought her was everything. That's all. How quick the sun can drop away.
I want to play that again. His mouth position is so fascinating here. Cheekbones, you know what I'm gonna say, helps to widen the palate, and he's just maintaining that embouchure so perfectly throughout the entire vowel that he's singing.
The sun can drop away. And now my bitter hand, great old broken glass of what was everything. Oh, the picture sad, all the walls of red, tattooed everything. Take a walk outside. I'm surrounded by some kids at blame. I can feel their laughter. So why do I see it? And twisting thoughts that spin round
I was not expecting his voice to open up the way it did at the beginning of this, I think, second verse. I have to comment, performance-wise, I love the intensity with which he is delivering the text. I just adore when you've got any kind of song that just has a message that's when you take the time to write lyrics that are so powerful and so meaningful, why would you just, set them aside or wash them away? And he's not doing that. He's just so committed to the text. And I love seeing the intensity on his face, which then made me realize how much air pressure is playing a part into this sound. I'm going to go back. I'm going to try and find the beginning of this second verse. Go.
And feel their laughter. So why do I see it? And twisted.
I think it was before this. Sorry. Here we go.
Tattooed everything. I take a walk outside. I'm surrounded by some kids at play.
I love that sound. It is such a great mix. It is so powerful. It's got that grit, that texture to it, and that vulnerability. I mentioned, feeling kind of unstable before, but in a good way. Maybe I'm thinking more vulnerable. I don't know, like it's like you're not sure if someone's gonna, when you're watching a performance, you're not sure if someone's going to start crying or if they are crying, if their voice is gonna crack, like that sort of, I don't know, emotional connection to the song. Maybe I don't know what I'm trying to say. Let me play that again, because that's just such again, knowing what his voice sounds like in mid-range, I was not anticipating this, and he's doing such a beautiful job of incorporating more forward placement, taking a little bit of pressure off the chords in order to sing those high notes. But again, he's got so much air pressure, even on those low notes, that I shouldn't be surprised that these higher notes are coming out just pristine. They sound so good.
Go walk outside. I'm surrounded by some kids at play. I can feel their laughter. So why do I see it? And twisting thoughts that spin round my head. I'm spinning, oh, I'm spinning. How quick the sun can drop away. Now my bitter hand.
That was so smooth. I want to play that again. You didn't hear that. It almost felt like a slide going back and forth between those two notes. It was just so silky smooth.
Drop away. Now my bitter hands cradle broken glass of what was everything. Oh, the picture sad, all been washed in black, tattooed everything. Oh, the love gone bad, turned my world
want to go back. You know the place. He just let it rip at the end there. And the texture, oh my goodness. That grit, that rasp, that texture is so captivating. Let me just play it again. Here we go.
But why can't it be? Or can it be?
One more time. I just want to hear that one more time. It's like a yell, but you can almost hear, I mean, you can hear that like the chords are not coming fully together, whether it's, you know, a manipulation with the muscles sort of moving them from like side to side, or it's like the mucus creating a part of that sound. I can't even begin to know what's happening in his lyrics right now, but it's fascinating. To go into that falsetto right after to like bring those chords together 100% and like create this beautiful tone. Now you'll have to let me know. I couldn't tell if the continuation of this melodic theme is if Eddie Vedder's singing that or if someone else in the band is doing it, because I see a lot of them at the mic. But either way, it's the fact that he did it the one time after this raspy, incredibly harsh sound. So cool. The fact that he's taking that mix up high enough to get that as well, that pitch on top.
We belong together, together. We belong together.
Something I've always liked about certain bands from the 90s is they had this magical power to create music that kind of morphed depending on who was listening or the setting in which they were listening. Like if I was, I don't know, watching a movie or even just, I don't know if this would be playing in a mall or something, but if I was just walking around aimlessly and not really paying attention to the music I was hearing, this could be very ambient. You know, it could be just like really cool sort of music to vibe to. But then once you actually take the time to listen to all the different parts in the instrumentals and the text and the voice, it becomes so much bigger and so much greater. And I don't know, I think it just, even though you wouldn't think it suits many settings or, you know, many occasions, it does. Hopefully that made sense. I don't know. Anywho, what a voice. Yes, I can safely say I have not heard him before. Of course, after I make that comment about ambient music, maybe I have heard him before. And again, I just wasn't like tuned in to what I was really hearing, so that I wasn't appreciating it or absorbing it. I don't know. But regardless, I will be listening to more. So thank you guys so much for this recommendation and for watching with me. And hopefully I will see you next time.